All right, Golf DMV, we are here live in beautiful Ashburn, Virginia at Peak Athletics, or also known now as, what was it, Mole Hill Gym.
Mole Hill Gym.
Right. We're here.
Lowering expectations every day.
See, that's the thing. And on that posted thing on the front door, it says lowering expectations to
meet your performance.
To meet your performance. Not that they don't perform, we don't perform. You know that here on Golf DMV. So happy to have Conor Lynch, who's the manager here at the Ashburn location with us. And by the way, I just want to set the scene. When you walk in to Peak Athletics here in Ashburn, you walk in and you feel like you're in a like hodgepodge of places. You feel like you're at like a physical therapy place or a doctor's office. Then you feel like you're in like a gym, and then you feel like you're in an indoor golf training facility, right? It'll be like it's all of that mixed into one, and we all need that because we all feel like we can be, scratch golfers. Very few of us will ever get there. No. Even single digits. We all feel like we can get there. But Peak is here to help you at least do something that will actually help you try to get to those dreams. Right. And by help you, I mean me. Because I come up with these like crazy ideas. And if you listen to the show for any amount of years, you know this. And LB will say this, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'll be better. And I don't do it.
But 2 weeks later, he stopped whatever that was.
And they come up with a plan that's going to help you get there, not just with golf, but with fitness. So again, I want to thank Conor Lynch for being a part of it. Shout out, by the way, to Jason Mesh and Pat McGuire, co-founders, founders of Peak Athletics. There's a Rockville location. Again, we're in Ashburn. Conor, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
I can't believe you guys drove it up from Maryland for this. I realized there were false pretenses. I didn't tell you about Rockville until you got here.
That was the trap. Coming to Ashburn. No, but we're happy to be here, man. And it happened to be on a holiday weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's all good. Traffic was non-existent. It took me 35 minutes to get here.
Right. It took me 40 from Silver Spring, and I was expecting an hour.
And we travel further than that to even play golf. So it's really
some of us do. Some of us don't anymore, but that's another topic.
And by some of us, Lawrence means he doesn't anymore. Aaron, by the way, who lives
Fredericksburg.
Essentially Fredericksburg, will travel all the way up to PBI, Whiskey Creek to how to do that. So we travel for these things because there's always the hope that we can get better. So when we talk about Peak Athletics and what you guys do here, Conor, what happens at Peak Athletics for the golfer, the guy, the girl who's coming in to improve their game?
Well, the first thing, which you guys haven't gotten to yet, but if you take a look over your shoulders, I realize listeners can't see this, there's a whiteboard set up with questions for each one of you guys. So our whole thing is understanding you. Right? We understand where you are in your game, we understand what your concepts are, we understand where you want to go, and then we throw a whole bunch of technology at it.
Nice.
Right?
Which gets Vern excited. Vern is I need tech in my game. You know what I mean?
Tech and numbers.
At some point in 5 years, Vern won't even play golf. AI Vern will be playing golf. And Vern will just be at home simulating and putting in numbers for AI Vern when he plays his rounds.
So have you guys ever heard of a place called the Titleist Performance Institute?
Yes.
Right? So for the golf nerds out there, it's a spot out in California where all their tour pros go to get check-ins head to toe, see where they can fine-tune their game. The guy who started that actually started it in Rockville about 20 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Right? Okay. His name Dr. Greg Rose. He was a chiropractor in the area. And then when Titleist caught on to what he was doing in the early 2000s, they're like, hey, we would love for you to do this, but out in California.
Sure.
So one of the guys that was working with Greg at that time when Greg moved is Jason Mish, one of our founders.
Nice. Okay.
So when Greg split to California, he started his own place in Rockville, ran it for 10 years, and then Pat McGuire, another one of our founders, golf coach, been doing it for close to 30 years, coached some guys on tour, ran the Raspberry Golf Academy, Virginia Golf Center for a long time.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So those two guys put their head together and said, hey, we've seen a lot of best practices from the best players in the game. We think we can provide this to people without having to have them fly to California to do it, right? So this is kind of the dream setup here, where we get the best environment for us to figure out what you're trying to do, figure out how you're trying to do it, then analyze how your body's holding up while it's happening, and give you some pretty useful answers, I think, at the end of the session.
Yeah. Now, some people, when it comes to the game, and even life in general, it seems like they are anti-tech or they're afraid of the tech or all these numbers are too confusing. are you guys able to break it down with, like, as far as, hey, here's what this number is and here's what it means, here's what we're looking at? Because I love the idea of having that, that vest on to kind of just see exactly what your body is doing and then come up with a plan afterwards.
Oh, no, we don't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, never.
If you are not an astrophysicist, you cannot
you cannot understand exactly what we're talking about.
So yes, all we're doing is breaking down things that you guys don't have experience with day to day, right? So all of the information is going to go to you. If you've got a swing coach, it's going to go to your swing coach in a way that you can understand. When you guys get hooked up to the machine, and again, if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see this right now, but over in the corner is what looks like a tangled heap of Christmas tree lights or audio cables, right?
And by the way, if you're listening and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe to YouTube and you'll be able to see all of these things as far as what we're going to go through here today on the podcast.
Yes. So go back to, like, can you simplify this? Not only does the machine look kind of intimidating, it's just going to feel like wearing a light rain jacket or something like that,
Sure.
but the information that comes out of it, at first you're going to be like, Connor, I'm crossing my eyes and I still don't get what these numbers mean. There's going to be a bunch of graphs that look like, overcooked spaghetti on there.
Right.
And to our eyes, looking at it day in, day out, we're seeing, hey, what's the pattern of how your hip turns going in your backswing and then in your downswing?
Okay.
What's the pattern, the shape of the change in speed of your hands at the top of the backswing going into your downswing?
Okay.
So we're looking for these things that we know are key performance factors that the machine is giving you this head-to-toe spit out that you need to be a robot to memorize. Our job is, after you've come in, you've done your iron swings, you've done your driver swings, our job is to say, hey, appreciate it, thank you. We're going to take a couple of days, find out what the key elements are, and then give it to you in a bite-sized piece.
Right. And it looks like, Lawrence, when you come in and you get all that data, you also have a gym. Like, I'm sure there's membership packages and all kinds of things that happen at Peak Athletics. It seems as if, you can work on all of those things here at the facility.
Yes, so the idea is we are here to support you however you want to be supported. You think of,
I just need unconditional love and other than that,
and hugs, and
I just need hugs
words of
and
affirmation.
Yeah,
that really wasn't that bad.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. But anyway, go right.
So yes, you could come to us and just get information. Like, hey, I just want to get a deeper dive on how my body's moving and where I can make improvement. I'm going to take that and do what I already do. I've already got a gym that I love going to. Great, stay there. I've got a coach I love. Great, stay there.
Right.
If you're like, hey, I love the information and I'd like a little guidance on how to use it. All right, cool, no worries. We've got 24/7 access via your phone. We've got personal training sessions. We've got group training sessions. So most people will come in and we're golfers. We have grand aspirations. We have, like, maybe a hole in the ceiling from that one iron swing in the living room that went a little bit too far. But oftentimes you're coming in, like, during the off season when you can't get out in the course, or you have a specific goal you're trying to work towards. All right, cool. I'm going to dedicate myself for a month, for 3 months, to try and make a significant change. And then all of a sudden it's mid-May.
Yeah. Right.
Like, okay.
Speaking my language, commitment issues.
Now I want to get out on the course.
Right.
So yes, we would love to see you come in here, do your evaluation, train with us. Hey, during the winter, we'd love to see you 3 times a week. During the summer, man, if we could still see you 1 day a week, that'd be great.
Right.
But the reality is, a lot of people are going to ebb and flow a little bit more.
Sure.
They're going to have more time during a certain part of the year. They're going to come here, they're going to train with us, and then you're out in the wild, right? You're going to see what happens in the golf course. The golf ball is going to end up in new places. Hey, like, maybe I'm making double bogey from beyond the green because I hit my 8-iron further now.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? So yes, you could come here and train with us. You could also come and just get information. You can come and use a simulator if you want. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, that is like a prescription. They leave with a prescription. This is where you are, and this is the things that you could do to improve your game,
Yes,
to
sir.
improve your body, I should say, more than your game.
Yes. So again, like I mentioned, we're starting with technology. That for us is just a way to get accurate information.
We got to see where you are. We got to see what's going on. Yeah.
For instance, like if you think about anywhere that you were going to take a video, like let's say maybe you're doing a classic gym photo, right, where you like pick cameras up top, right?
Yeah.
When you change the camera angle, your body starts to look a little bit different, right?
Yep.
When you're filming yourself, or you've got coach filming you, that is a great way to get information.
Right.
But from one shot to another, if you're in a slightly different position, if the camera's in a slightly different position from one day to the other, perspective starts to change.
Sure.
The point of the wires is that it does not matter where you are. We are getting incredibly precise information.
Right.
The
That's a
most
good
accurate.
point.
So,
Okay.
So, cool. We start with that, and I got on a tangent. I forgot what the question was.
No, right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but it was about a prescription, knowing
Yeah,
where
so
you
yes,
are.
yes. So,
and then,
pretty,
yeah.
yes. So all right, cool. So coming out of that initial foray into technology, we feel we have a fantastic starting point, a very accurate starting
That's right.
point. And then we're figuring out, all right, where do maybe limitations or injuries or stuff in your body line up with very accurate information about your swing. If the club starts to move a certain way out of nowhere in your swing, and then we find out that, hey, you know what, I had this left wrist injury a couple years ago, right? So now we've got an accurate starting point. Then here are the baby steps to get from there to a body that allows you to swing in a different way.
Yeah.
So yes, everyone here is leaving with a workout prescription for their golf game that matches their
body.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right?
I already know that one of my limitations will be, over the years, you become slightly overweight. So there's no reason for us to go over that.
Mass is gas, baby.
So there's no reason for us to go over that.
Right.
I already know.
But you can use that mass to your advantage.
Yeah. So, Conor, I do have one additional question for you before we get everybody strapped up and do what we got to do. You play golf, right?
Yes, sir.
And now here in the DMV, where do you like to play, or where have you played before?
So my favorite public course in the area is Laurel Hill. Down 95.
Yes, Laurel Hill. We call it. It's the Joe Frazier of boxing. It's going to beat you. It's in for a dog fight. It's in for a fight. It's in for 12 rounds. And if you're not careful, it's going to punch you right in the face if you're not ready for it. I love Laurel Hill. It's tough. To me, it's tough. It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Just walking it is a challenge.
Yeah, right.
You get that ninth green, and then
right.
So I'll go. My top three: Laurel Hill, number one. When I was in high school, the first summer job I ever had was at Army Navy Country Club in Arlington.
Okay.
I used to ride my bike all the way over there, and that was, to me, it was the best job you could ever have. You
Sure.
get, your employee meal, so I'm getting like a cheeseburger and a cookie every single day. And again, this is what teenager does is like 15, 16-year-old me, like I'm at work at 5 a.m., working until 2, and then I'm like, it's summer. Now I've gotten for like 2 until 9, where I'm just chipping putting.
Yeah, you can play golf and take use of facilities all day long. Yep.
So I love that, and I'm so grateful for it looking back, because that course is so up and down.
Right.
Like, there's nothing like a straight line there. And then I'll go number 3. I'll actually go the white course at East Potomac Park.
Oh,
The
nice.
venerable links of Haynes Point.
The links at East Potomac.
The very first time I ever drove in a car by myself was to Haynes Point.
Wow,
nice.
Okay.
And so
Lots of things happen in cars at Haynes Point,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah.
When you're young. No, we won't go there. I'm just saying things happen.
Yeah. When I was in high school, that was the hangout spot, was Haynes Point. So I was talking to a lady yesterday about that, how now the kids are doing all these donuts and stuff in the middle of the traffic. We would drive our cars to Haynes Point and just park.
Yeah.
And
sit out there with the young ladies.
Yeah.
And, you just have a good evening. That's all that was going on. Okay.
Times have changed.
These guys are weird. But anyway, so the white course at Haynes Point, nice.
And that was, I remember, high school years, it was almost like maybe every 2 or 3 months, like I was measuring myself against the course. Like it was a par 3, and I can remember like getting there with a 6 iron for the very first time, and it was not a shot. It was like I'm teeing the ball like 3 inches up, but that was like, hey, like I could go there on my own. Super accessible and try and get a little bit better all the time.
Okay.
So,
One additional question before we get right strapped up. Recently we've seen so much emphasis on being able to hit the ball far, long, hit it hard, bombs. Do you get a lot of people coming in and they're just trying to hit it further? Or is it like, no, we need to take a more holistic approach to your swing, even if you're not, I'm assuming that by just virtue of working out and training, you'll probably hit it further, but hitting it further is not the goal here, even though for whatever reason, we always try to, that's the measuring stick that we all try to use as far as whether we're getting better or not.
Yeah. Hitting it further is a fantastic motivator. There's nothing wrong at all with that. And we get a lot of people coming in, particularly folks who are like, hey, I finally kicked the kids out of the house. I got my time back. I can play my own game.
I hit it 215 now. I want to go 380.
Right.
It's like,
or even just like, hey, like 3 years ago I was hitting it 230. Now I'm having trouble hitting it 200 all the time. Right?
Yep.
So distance doesn't always have to be like I'm trying to carry the ball 300 yards.
Right.
The
Vern's in for the distance.
Yes,
He just walked back into the room like, did someone say hitting bombs?
but in the same way, like let's say instead of distance, people are like, hey, I'm here to bench press, right? On day one, you wouldn't be like, oh, everyone bench presses 300 pounds. It's on the bar. Figure it out.
Right.
It's going to be we meet you
Right.
where your strength and experience is. So increase for the game of golf, particularly with ball striking thing, distance, accuracy, and consistency.
Yes.
Right?
That's
And-
the equation.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
And while you can have strengths in different areas, man, those two, like a rising tide raises all ships, right? So coming back to distance, like our job is to figure out what parts of your body are doing the most work in your swing, what parts of your body are doing the least work, and then how can we get your body to feel free enough that it can use the best part for the best part of the game, right? So I'm not going to pursue distance by having your body create a compensation
Right.
for it.
I like
I'm
that.
trying to figure out what is the most efficient way for your body to create distance, because that generally is going to go hand in hand with having more consistent contact.
Right.
And man, if you're making consistent contact, accuracy tends to improve a heck of a lot as well.
Yeah.
The better
Yeah.
you strike the ball, the more accurate it is, the further it's going to carry.
Right.
Like, so yes, everyone loves distance. That is fantastic. Let's do it. And we're just trying to find the way that is maybe the best for your body.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Without having to go buy another $600 driver. $600 driver.
So we're gonna get Lauren strapped up first, and then so we'll show footage again. Go to the YouTube channel. While that's happening, we'll do some play-by-play commentary of it, Vernon and myself, and we'll talk a little bit of golf as Lawrence is getting those numbers, and we'll swap out and stuff like that as the whole thing goes along. And yeah, man.
Can I jump in with just one more
Oh,
thing?
please do.
Because I don't know if I'll be on the mic again.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier, like I found you guys on Instagram, which I normally social media is not my thing. Right?
Right.
I never leave social media feeling better.
Yeah.
Right.
But
like you
but
wasted
so-
your time. Right.
So I'm in Ashburn, but I live in Arlington, and I've been, once we agreed to come out, I was like, I should listen to these guys' podcasts.
Yeah.
And the highest compliment I can give is I feel so much better having listened to one of your guys' podcasts.
Oh, nice.
When I get home, I really appreciate it. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
of
what you guys are
Thank
doing.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's good to
absolutely,
hear.
absolutely,
Yeah,
man. I
it's good
really
to hear.
appreciate
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that, and it's been a pleasure meeting you and working this whole thing out. And like, if you listen to shows, the last golf thing that I do, last course I play, whatever it is, I fall in love with that. And so I'm sure that this will be my new favorite thing.
Yep.
And I'm going to give money, I'm sure. I'm going to sign up for a membership, and I'll be down here. And, you will, again, my performance is not a reflection of how great they are here at Peak Athletics. It's that I'm a bum, and I'm just not consistent. But anyway, we'll work that out. We're going to get Lauren strapped up, and me and Vernon are going to talk a little bit of golf guys here on Golf DMV.